Greetings and welcome to Syndwire Buddy. In this video I'm going to do a complete walkthrough for you. Before you do anything else, know that to run this software you need .NET 4.5 installed. And what I do is I go to CCleaner. It's very important to run CCleaner before you run the software. It makes sure that it's closed all accounts and wiped any cookies out before you begin. Now, here's fake name generator, and what I have done is I've gone in and I've used the information from fake name generator in all of these slots, and I'll show them to you in just a second. I have created an email account. The one piece that I deviate from is I take this name and I put it on one of my cPanel emails. So in this case I used Sandra J. Manuel at syndwirebuddy.com. Okay, so let's start looking at these options. If I click random details, this will just fill all of this out except the phone. And for the phone, if you put a phone number in here and Facebook or Google asks for it, it's going to turn around and send the verification code to that phone number. All right. And if you have a phone number to do that, great. But if you don't, leave that phone number blank. There is a place that may pop up. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, depending on if they ask, wanting you to type in the verification code. If you didn't put a phone number in, I just put 1, 2, 3, 4 in there. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's go over here to the right-hand side. Here's where we enter in our Syndwire user login details and password. I'm going to do those off screen or off camera, but after you enter them in, you click Save to Database. Okay, and then under email account details, and it's very important, this email and this email need to match, and they need to be a real email. Okay, we support a number of different types of connections, but the easiest for me is POP3 server port 110. This is what a standard cPanel would be. And in my case, my mail server is mail.syndwirebuddy.com, my email address, and the password for that account. Click OK. All right. Under additional settings, this is where we handle our proxies. Now, I'm using proxy rental at the moment, but you can use private proxies where you put in your private proxy username, the password, and then you select the proxy file. You can also use HMA, and if you do, you just select where your HMA is installed. Now, I don't recommend the use of HMA because many of the IPs from HMA have been identified by the Web 2.0 properties and they won't accept them. So I will come back with this as well off camera and enter in my password here. Let's go down to Captcha settings. As you can see, I'm using dCaptcha, but we support a number: Death by Captcha, dCaptcha, Bypass Captcha, and Captcha Sniper. Let's say that I was adding, just to show you what it looks like, a dCaptcha account. Your username, your password, this automatically is filled in, and put the port in. That's all there is to it. And then every time you open this up, it's going to go and check your balance. All right. Over here, in this section, we have view sites, and this is sites where accounts have already been created. And it lists a PVA status. If it is a PVA account, this is going to be marked as success, created, all right, as opposed to failed automatically. There's some technical reasons for that. It's not overly important. Just remember that my preference is to create those PVA accounts personally. Now, you see some here say failed. There can be a number of reasons. Sometimes that Web 2.0 property is not taking any more accounts. Sometimes it's because the proxy may have failed. Sometimes it's because the Captcha wasn't responded to in time. So when you send us a ticket and say that something isn't working, that a particular property isn't working, what we do is we run the software 3 times. And if it's not working, it will fail all 3 times. Then we send it over to the programmer and start going about troubleshooting why and fixing the problem. Under View Accounts, this will turn around and show you the username, the password, the email address, the basic information for that email account. And everything in the system, as you will see, is tied together by email account. Under the Manage Database, a lot of this stuff is repeated. We have a couple of other features here. One is if you want this to add your WordPress site to Syndwire. Personally, I think it's just as easy to do it yourself. But the other piece is you can export, very useful, export your sites to CSV. All right, and that way you can have an Excel spreadsheet that's showing you all of your accounts. Let's see if there's anything we haven't covered. All right, I'm going to go off camera and add a couple of passwords in. Okay, so all the information is there that I need, and I'm ready to go. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click Run. This is starting up. It's going to go to Creating Accounts. And you'll see little browser windows pop up over here, and that's because this is multi-threaded. So it's going to do this fairly quickly. Okay, it's popped up and it's asked me for the code. I didn't put in a phone number, so I'm just going to put in 1234 and get past this. That can happen as much as 2 times for a single set of accounts, one for Facebook and one for Blogger. Here's the second time. Sometimes when I'm talking about this, I misspeak, and when I mean a Google account, I'll say Gmail. Quick note, if you're using Gmail as your email for creating these accounts, you need to make sure that you've done your settings so that the promotion tab and social tab are not showing up. If the promotion tab and social tab is there, some of the accounts will go into those, and the software will not be able to find them for automatic confirmations. You'll end up having to go in and manually confirm some of your accounts. All right, when that changes to waiting for threads to finish, it means it's on the last accounts. It doesn't have any more to start. Almost done. Pretty quick for creating 28 accounts. Okay, now the system is going to wait 5 minutes for confirmation emails, and then it's going to go and automatically open up the email, go inside, do whatever's required for confirmation, move on to the next one. Okay, you can see that it's going through confirming emails, and it says 6 found, 7 confirmation links, activating 7 confirmation links. There should be more than this. Normally it'll say there's been about 15 videos found. Sometimes if the mail is traveling slow, what you can do is you can tell it to reconfirm emails in a few minutes, or you can just let it sit and it will continuously cycle and try to confirm all of the emails. And that's one of the side effects of making this multi-threaded. So when we think it's gone through and seen all of the emails, what we have to do is actually go up here and hit the stop button. It hasn't done that. You can see us going through and verifying them on the bottom. So if I were to see FeedSpot come up again, then I would know I can probably move on, hit stop, and go into the next section. And now I'm going to tell it to run again. So you see right off the bat, you have Blogger and Facebook failing because we didn't fully create those accounts. We'll let it play out anyway. Here's Facebook telling us the email we entered doesn't belong to any account. In the event that account does not add, you can come back to this page, put in this email in the same box again. This is what I meant when I said that email ties everything together. Put your email back in this box and tell it to run the account uploader, and it will try uploading all of the accounts for that email again. Okay, it says idle. That looks like it's gone through all of the accounts. All right, now we can move over to the campaign creator. What this is going to do is this is going to take all of the accounts by this email and put them into whatever name I give this. So I'm just going to call this niche 27. Now, once again, I don't recommend you necessarily do this. We put this feature in here because when Syndwire first came out, when we started on this software, there was a problem with Syndwire and adding accounts. If you had a lot of accounts in your campaign window, it was hard to find them all. Now they've created a search feature. Because this will put them all in one, it is not how we actually use the software. We create smaller groups, and if you watched our training videos on how to handle Web 2.0 accounts, you'll understand why. But you can certainly do it this way, and we started off doing it this way. So I've said add these all to niche 27, and I click run. And it doesn't hurt to add them into a single account, because you can add them, or into a single campaign, because you can add them into multiple campaigns. So at least it does put them into one campaign for you. And that looks like it concludes the use of Syndwire Buddy. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact support. If that doesn't get answered fast enough, feel free to call me on my provided phone number. Thank you.